Welcome, everyone. This is the monthly I Ching reading with Malka Walters for the month of May. I'm Colina Casa, just hosting the space. Yay, me. You can find me at satmom.com, satmom.com. So, this is Malka Walters. She is my partner in crime. She's going to be here giving you sharing one of her long time honed skills. She's been doing I Ching readings since she was a young girl. She can tell us more about that and also a little snippet about what I Ching is, what this guidance means for us. And then she's going to give us some overall guidance for the month of May. Thank you, Malka. I'm going to pin your video. Thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Okay, so my name is Malka. I do a lot of shamanic work. So I like to do a lot of the shadow work. So I'm the person you're going to come to when you have something you want to work through. The things you tend to avoid, I tend to kind of dig up for you. Um, but this is not like that. This is a collective reading for May, and I use the I Ching, which is a Chinese divination. I do have an oracle deck. I also do it the old school way with I throw the coins and come up with the six lines to find out what your hexagram is. Anyways, but I Ching is a tool used for guidance, telling us the energies that we are working with, um, and whatever the issue we're going through, and we can work through that, telling us what we need to know. But this reading is just for the collective. I will post later. I did the hexagrams for each sun sign. So you can go look specifically what your sign will be working through in May, even though we're all kind of going through the same energy. There is going to be specifics according to all of us individually. But for May, I pulled the hexagram 2, which is the receptive, one of my favorite cards, because that means we're ready to take in what we've been working on, right? So here we are getting ready to still wait a little bit, but we're being receptive now. And with it, I usually like to pull a spirit animal guide, an animal we can go to and ask for guidance as we're going through the work we're doing. And we got the spider, which is also another one of my favorites. And I'll explain later why the spider is one of my favorites as well too, and why they're so resilient. But here we go. So the energy for May. May is not asking you to push. It is asking you to receive and allow and trust what is already unfolding beneath the surface. So the hexagram too, the receptive is a pure yin energy and it's associated with Earth. So, Gaia, Mother Earth, and anything to do with the planet. It's also associated with the womb, so the space that holds, that nourishes, and all that allows life to grow. So that's why we're in that safe place of being receptive. We're letting things grow. So it's kind of like our seeds have been planted, and now we have to nurture those seeds in May. So then when we go into the energy in June, we're now ready to take care of our garden, right? So this is a powerful shift from doing into like being, being with it. Not passive, not stuck, but deeply responsive, intuitive, and aligned to the work that we got to do in May. So in May, this month is about learning. You do not need to force what is meant for you. You need to become available to it because when we stop forcing, the tigers will get loud. Um, yeah, if you keep pushing, the tigers are really going to get loud within you. And if you don't know what tigers are, I call triggers tigers because tigers we can control and we can tame, where triggers mean, they come, it's impulsive, it takes over, and we can't do much about it. So, which will lead me to the shadow work we're going to be doing for May. Um, the tigers that we're going to possibly show up for you, and they could be show up in different ways. Um, because we're asked to be receiving instead of controlling, we don't want to control those tigers. We want to acknowledge them and see what it is it's trying to protect us from that we don't need protection from anymore, right? So certain patterns will arise up for you this coming month. This is where your work is going to start working for you, where you work with it to try to change that energy. So you may notice tigers like, the control tiger. If I don't do something, everything will fall apart, or the worthlessness tiger. If I am not working hard, I don't deserve this. there's the fear tiger, which shows up a lot for me. It's a lot of things for me is based on my fear tiger. And if I soften, I will lose everything. So, which means, if I don't have that control, if you don't have that, you know, that that way of knowing what's going to happen, then we are afraid to take that step forward, right? Then there's the overthinker tiger. That's also one of mine. I need to figure it out before I trust it. Sometimes it is about just trusting the energy and moving forward with it and see what happens and just correct as we go. But if we let that tiger control us, then we're too afraid to take those steps, right? And then we got to learn that these tigers, our triggers, they're not problems. These are protectors. They're there for a reason. They're there to help us keep ourselves safe. And that's why we learned them, right? That's why the tiger came to protect us. So we're learning how to control those tigers now. So the energy in May isn't about silencing them. It's about meeting them where they are, being aware of them, why are they showing up, what feelings and emotions and where in the body they're showing up, and you're not fixing the pattern, you're building a relationship with it so that you learn how to pet that tiger. Make it purr instead of roaring at you and like, no, don't go there. You can calm the tiger and just say, you know what? We're gonna find out where it's safe and where it's not. Because things change, right? So that's the energy that we're working with is learning how to be more aware of what's coming up and why it's coming up. So that would also lead me to, working with our nervous system, which is something, with my shamanic work I like to do as well too. And that is, when our tigers show up, how do we calm it down so that we're not in this place of anxiety and stress and worrying about what's to happen because we're too afraid or don't have enough control to be able to move forward. So so in May, what you should be doing is working with your regular, doing the regular work that you normally do, but not taking too much action, just looking and feeling what's coming up. And when things feel unclear or slow or like nothing is happening, that's when the work is, instead of asking what I should do, ask questions like, what am I feeling right now? What part of me is activated? Can I stay with myself here? And see what comes up. Where do you feel it in the body? And that's when we take like our deep breath and put our hands on our chest and one on our belly and feel the comfort and take a deep breath in and then just ask like, what is it coming up? Why is it coming up for me? Because this is where the power actually lives, right? Not in forcing movement, but in staying present when that movement hasn't arrived yet, but it's starting to show itself, right? The tiger's peeking. So we want to see that and look at it and like, where is it feeling? Why am I feeling that? Is it really the case that's going on right now? Or is it just trying to take over where once in your life you needed that to protect you, but it's not the case anymore, right? So, but with all that, and that's pretty much the energy that's coming up, right? So, really, this month really is not about becoming something new. It's about softening into what you already have or who you already are, and just accepting that and moving into it, or trusting what is already forming. And and realizing that you're not really broken. You're just responding to what you've learned to survive, how to survive, and now you're learning how to respond differently to that. That is all. That is what May is all about. And the animal spirit that came with it in May is called the spider. I love the spider because, like the spider, no matter what element comes its way, it adapts to it. It molds with it. It moves with it. Like, if it's building its spider web and a corner happens to fall off, it doesn't sweat it, so to speak. It will rebuild, or it takes a little corner and it will fix it, right? And it's okay. We still have our structure, and pretty much the spider's like the same thing. So the spider energies can really is considered sacred, because the spider doesn't chase, the spider doesn't force. She weaves and then she waits because what is going to be hers is going to land in her web, right? Which means what is meant for her, she will catch, and then she can feed off of that. That's how what we're supposed to be at. We're supposed to be like the spider right now, build our web and wait. So like every thread that she does is intentional. Every placement is precise. Each pause is part of a creation. So the spider is trying to teach us right now. And if you forget, just go back to that and ask. What you're creating is already in motion. Your job is to stay connected to your thread. Patience is not delay, it is an alignment. So it means being patient, waiting, and not trying to force something to happen. Like the spider, build your web. It's sticky enough. Whatever's meant to be yours, it will stick to it, right? And it'll come. So the deeper message is really still telling us wait, be patient, create, and push through what feels like uncomfortable and to try and understand why it feels uncomfortable so therefore you can shift that energy into something different and move forward instead of holding yourself back. And if anyone who likes to journal, like I like to journal, some of the great I came up with a couple of really good journal prompts for you for May that you can try and write and go through as many times as you want. And you can ask things like, where in my life am I being asked to trust instead of control? Big one for me. It's one I write about a lot because it changes quite often because you find new ways to control something, right? Even though you know you shouldn't be. But because if they're tigers, you still try to, right? You're still trying to protect yourself from the unknown. Another one is what tiger shows up when I slow down or stop pushing? What is it trying to protect me from? So even under trying to understand why you have the tiger in the first place, you can maybe be able to understand why it doesn't have a place in your life right now, or why it can just sit down there and just give it a good pet, let it purr, and letting it know that you've got it under control. You don't need it to step in for you right now, right? And another one I came up with, what am I quietly creating right now, even if I can't see the results yet? Because some of us, like myself, can be very impatient and we expect like result answers, everything right now without even having to contemplate or go into our shadow work or journal or anything to find out what's underlaying there that we're hiding, but we need to bring up to the surface so we can work on, so we can move forward and not be stuck where we don't want to be stuck anymore. So May is about the quiet power. It may not look like growth, but it is growth. It may not feel like progress, but you are progressing. It's like it's our mind that's taking over. And so like the spider web, let's start forming in that stillness, in the quiet, in those moments of oh my God, I don't think I can do this because something is being woven for you and you are weaving that weave. You just have to figure out where you want to put your spider web and trust that it's okay where it is, right? And that's your job. Just stay with yourself while you do this and do less. It's not about doing more right now. It's about doing less and seeing, visualizing, and understanding where it's coming from. That's pretty much it for
Mm.
May. And that's going to get us pretty much ready for June, where we are really going to be starting to take full force because that's when we're going to see the plants growing now. Now we're not just nurturing those seeds to come to through the dirt, come through the dark. We're waiting patiently, just like the spider. We're waiting for things to be nourished and come to nourish us. So we just have to be patient and wait, and we will have what we need. But we have to do the work for it that to come. If we don't want to do the work and we let those tigers control us, then we can't expect the energy in May to shift for us. We will still be stuck where we were right now. So it's up to you whether you want to be stuck or not. So, and whether you want to flourish that garden or not. That is all. That is all we got to expect for May.
Woo! Oh my gosh, that was
A lot, but
powerful.
it's not. There's a lot to it, but there really isn't a lot to it. It's
Yes.
just understanding that we're the only ones who hold ourselves back. Our old teachings, our old thoughts, our old knowledge, our old everything. And we're not meant to be the same people we were 10 years ago or even 10 years coming. We are supposed to change, shift, and grow. And if you feel you're the same person, then you've got some work to do. And that means go meeting your tigers, finding out what tigers you have and why you let them or why they keep trying to control a situation where there's no more danger for you to be protected from. So,
Mm.
we're in that place now. We're in that place now. Now we're really getting ready. For those of us who've been working hard, it is starting to show. And those of us who've been working hard know what we've done to get where we are today. and
Yes,
just got to keep up the good work. Just keep it up. And if you're just starting, it's not too late. You just pick up and you go and you'll catch up before you know it.
absolutely. I was
So,
getting a little download from the spider. The spider trusts her current weave. She'll patch or she'll
right?
recreate her weave when she needs to, but she doesn't hem and
Exactly.
haw over it. She doesn't debate. She just does what
No.
she needs when it
And even
calls.
if that spider web gets destroyed, and we all know that they get destroyed a lot, because even as humans, if we walk through, we knock them off or whatever. I try not to, but I'm not a big fan of spiders in real life, but as a spirit animal, I'm all down. Um, But the spider, when they build their spider web, I mean, you think about it, think how strong it is. The rain comes pouring, it's still there. Wind blows it. It may move, but it's still there. It may lose a spot or two, but she just goes back and puts it back in and fixes it or picks a better spot for it. So
Yep.
she's forced to create an even stronger web. But that web, as delicate as it may look, it's extremely strong. It holds her weight. It holds the bodies of all the insects that she catches to feed herself and nourish herself. So, like the spider, we need to build our web and allow what need we need to stick to it for ourselves to stick to that and be patient because it's coming. We have to be
Totally.
patient.
And I'm thinking about the tone that the spider holds. She's softly vigilant over her web. She doesn't keep her eyes open. She's not
Right.
like this. She can
No,
relax into it because when something hits her web, she will be alerted by the vibrational shift
right,
in frequency. So our spidey senses are there for us to let us know
right,
when something comes in for us. We don't have to stay
right.
ever mentally
Exactly.
vigilant. We need
It's
to
true.
stay sensitive
Yeah.
and open.
We can be like Spidey. Like if you're into to Marvel and DC like I am, like the geek that I can be, then be like Spider-Man. Like, listen to those senses. Something's coming, something's happening, but listen to your senses because your senses are going to tell you what you need to do instead of panicking about something's coming. Oh my God. And then you shut down. I used to be so good at that. Just shut down. Don't
Yep.
listen.
But
I
we
don't want
have
to know.
to get
I'm
out
in
of
my
the
protective
mind,
bubble. I'm going to stay in my
back into the
bubble.
body.
Yeah. And you can probably see the signs before they come because I don't know for everyone else, but I'll speak for myself. But when one of my tigers want to show up, I know it's coming because my heart starts to race. I can feel my heart racing a bit more. My body starts to get warm. I can feel the temperature in my body start to rise. And I can feel the panic within myself, like the anxiety start to come up, and my brain starts to tell me, oh my God, something's coming. That's when I get to take a deep breath and okay, where
Right.
am I feeling this? Why am
Right.
I
Because the
feeling this?
brain's going
What's
to try
going
and
on?
associate it with a past story in order to bring that story current. And it's our job to not give it the old story right now.
Exactly.
Give it
Exactly.
space instead. How do you do that? With your breath, with your movement, with your body.
Yeah, pretend you're going to the zoo. Like you know how you if you want to see the tiger at the zoo, you're behind the cage, you're safe, and you're looking at the tiger, admiring it. So do the same thing. Like, let the tiger show up. Watch it. Like, okay, why are you here, tiger? What do you want from
Right.
me? Why are you scaring me? But yet you're not also scared, but you're also looking at it with curiosity, like why your behavior? Why watch the behavior? Why is it behaving that way? And then you apply that to yourself because whatever answer comes up for you, that's the right answer. Your
Yeah.
instinct always knows what it
Most
is.
of the
So,
time, there was a previous way of operation that I was leaving myself behind.
yeah,
And the tiger's coming in to help me pick up that part of myself again and commit to not leaving that part of myself behind anymore.
right. Exactly. And the tiger doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, you can collect all your tigers. They can be all become pets and they'll hang out together. You can hang out with them. And sometimes they may have to come back out to protect you. But and the majority of the time, it doesn't need to protect us. But it does its job so well because we trained it so well to protect us that it will
Well,
continue to
at
protect
one
you
point, it
until
was
you
our
tell it, like, I'm
survival,
okay. Yeah.
right? At one point, it was survival that these tigers were
Yes.
protecting us. So,
Exactly.
in working with
Exactly.
them, the tiger gets to now trust that our adult, mature self can actually run the show and has our best interest in mind. And the tiger can then relax because we are
Right.
in
Yeah.
not control, but we are the purveyors, the
Right. Think of yourself
connoisseurs
as a
of our
tiger.
own life.
Yeah, think of yourself as a tiger trainer. You're
You
training your
can,
tigers, right? So when your tiger shows up and you're not happy or what
but
how
think of
it's
yourself as
being
a
treated,
loving, compassionate tiger
right?
trainer,
Yeah,
not
exactly. Because you don't want
forcing
to be,
those tigers
yeah,
into
you don't want to
things.
be mean to them,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you can still talk to that tiger and say, okay, tiger, I don't need you to do that for me today. Pet the tiger, train it. Like, okay, I will tell you when to attack. Right now is not the time, because that old tiger learned to attack exactly when it was supposed to, because that's what we taught it.
And it's not
How
about healing into it's not healing into niceness
Yeah,
because there are times like you still have to have that sword on your shoulder that you can call in when you need to, but it's not
and go to
about
battle.
being ready
Yeah,
at the blade all the time.
yeah,
So
exactly. That's exactly it.
beautiful.
So the
Mm.
tiger just needs to be tamed and trained to attack when you ask it to, and not just come up forward just because it feels like it needs to.
Oh, it's totally like my dog that is totally untrained and
Yeah.
like his like confused need to protect me at
Here's a
random
noise. They
times,
start to bark. Right. Exactly.
and if I had taken the time, he's like way too old now, but if I had taken the time when he was young to really work with him so he could listen to my
Yeah.
voice and I have the authority, that's the difference there. Like I can
Exactly.
retain the authority with it. Thank you so much, Malka.
Very
This
much.
was so informative and so beautiful. And so look for her post in the Lunacy group coming up with the May reading for all 12 signs. And she will be back again next month to give you a fresh update. And thank you so much, dear sister. Love you so much. And we
Thank
will see
you.
you again soon.
Okay. We'll talk soon.